There are moments in your life when all you can do is bow your head, close your eyes, and whisper a prayer that rises from the deepest part of your soul. You don't have the strength to shout. You don't have the words to explain. You don't even know what to say anymore, but you know one thing. God is listening. He hears, he sees, he knows, and he cares. Repeat 3 words. This struggle you're in is not the end. This pain you feel is not pointless. This valley you're walking through is not permanent. Repeat 3 words. What you're experiencing may feel like silence from heaven, but in that silence God is moving. In that silence God is preparing. In that silence God is orchestrating a break through greater than anything you could imagine. Repeat 3 words. You prayed when no one saw. You cried when no one understood. You waited while others moved ahead. You were still while others ran. You remained faithful while others gave up. And now, child of God, hear me. An answered prayer is coming. Repeat 3 words. The waiting room of God is not a wasted room. The struggle you're going through right now is God's classroom. He is teaching you to trust, to lean, to depend, and to believe. It's in the struggle that faith is born. It's in the struggle that doubt dies. It's in the struggle that God shows himself strong. Repeat 3 words. You thought he forgot. You thought he abandoned. You thought your voice didn't reach heaven. But oh, my friend, heaven has been preparing. The angels have been arranging. The Spirit has been stirring. God has not forgotten what he promised. God has not dismissed what you asked for. God has not abandoned what he started. Repeat 3 words. There are delays, but they are not denials. There are detours, but they are not denouncements. There are pauses, but they are not punishments. Repeat 3 words. God sometimes says yes. God sometimes says no. But often God says wait. Not because he's cruel, but because he's kind. Not because he's silent, but because he's strategic. Repeat 3 words. You are being stretched, refined, tested. Not to break you, but to bless you. Not to crush you, but to crown you. Not to destroy you, but to develop you. Repeat 3 words. God works in the dark. God moves in the silence. God answers in the struggle. Repeat 3 words. The Israelites were trapped between Pharaoh and the Red Sea. It looked like there was no escape. It felt like God had forsaken them. But it was in that very moment of impossible struggle that the sea split and deliverance came. Repeat 3 words. What looked like the end was actually the beginning. What looked like defeat was actually deliverance. What looked like silence was actually strategy. Repeat 3 words. You prayed for healing. You prayed for clarity. You prayed for a door to open. And now God says, keep trusting, child. I have not forgotten. The answer is coming. Repeat 3 words. Every tear was counted. Every sigh was heard. Every plea was stored in heaven's archive, and the answer is scheduled. The breakthrough is ordained. The miracle is assigned. Repeat 3 words. You say, but I don't feel anything. You say, I don't see change. You say, I feel alone. But faith doesn't walk by feelings. Faith doesn't wait for proof. Faith walks ahead while the walls are still standing. Repeat 3 words. You've been climbing, you've been stumbling, you've been bleeding. But don't stop now, don't quit now, don't lose heart now. Repeat 3 words. An answered prayer is not always what we expect. It doesn't always come in our time. It doesn't always look like what we imagine. But it's always good, it's always right, it's always best. Repeat 3 words. Sometimes the answer is not in the change of circumstances, but in the change of character. Sometimes the miracle is not in the open door, but in the closed one that saved your life. Repeat 3 words. You asked for a relationship. He gave you isolation to restore your identity. You asked for a platform. He gave you silence to build your message. You asked for speed. He gave you stillness to learn surrender. Repeat 3 words. That loneliness has purpose. That delay has a plan. That silence is sacred. Repeat 3 words. When you feel like giving up, remember who you're praying to. He holds the stars. He parts seas. He raises the dead. He's not just able. He's willing. He's not just aware. He's working. He's not just present. He's personal. Repeat 3 words. So many times we pray and expect God to act immediately. But what we don't see is how heaven is preparing behind the veil. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not denied. Repeat 3 words. He hears the whisper. He sees the ache. He feels the longing. Repeat 3 words. You prayed, God, give me peace. But before he gave peace, he revealed your storm. You prayed, God, help me love. But before love came, he brought you someone hard to forgive. You prayed, God, use me. But before he used you, he broke you. Repeat 3 words. This struggle is the answer in disguise. This pain is the preparation. This fire is forging your testimony. Repeat 3 words. People may not understand your waiting. They may mock your faith. They may question your sanity. But child of God, you know who you trust. You know who holds tomorrow. You know who speaks peace in storms. Repeat 3 words. The disciples thought Jesus was sleeping in the storm, but he was in the boat all along. He stood and said, Peace, be still, and the winds obeyed. Repeat 3 words. The same voice that created the stars is the voice answering your prayer. The same hand that fed the 5,000 is the hand opening your door. The same heart that wept over Jerusalem is the heart moved by your cries. Repeat 3 words. I know the nights have been long. I know the silence has been loud. I know the wait has been hard. But I came to tell you, answered prayer is coming. Repeat 3 words, and when it comes, it will be greater than you imagined, sweeter than you expected, stronger than you prayed for. Repeat 3 words. Don't abort the promise in the final trimester. Don't curse the dirt while the seed is sprouting. Don't quit digging when the well is 1 foot away. Repeat 3 words. Abraham waited 25 years. Joseph was imprisoned before promotion. Moses wandered before deliverance. Jesus waited 30 years before ministry. Repeat 3 words. If they waited, so can you. If they endured, so will you. If they received, so shall you. Repeat 3 words. Your job is not to understand the delay. Your job is to trust in the deliverer. Your job is not to dictate the outcome. Your job is to walk by faith. Repeat 3 words. Keep praying, keep hoping, keep trusting. Repeat 3 words. He's answering in ways you don't see. He's moving in realms you don't understand. He's preparing blessings you didn't ask for. Repeat 3 words. The answer is not just coming. It's already on the way. Like the angel told Daniel, from the first day you prayed, I was sent. There was a delay, but not a denial. Repeat 3 words. Some prayers are answered immediately. Others require a war in the heavens, and some require your persistence, your patience, your pressing in. Repeat 3 words. God is not mocked. God is not blind. God is not late. Repeat 3 words. There is a set time. There is a perfect day. There is a divine hour. Repeat 3 words, and when it arrives you'll know. When it breaks you'll weep. When it lands you'll worship. Repeat 3 words. You'll look back at the pain and say, it was worth it. You'll look back at the tears and say, they watered my harvest. You'll look back at the silence and say, that's where I met God. Repeat 3 words. The enemy wants you to give up now. He wants you to believe God has forgotten. He wants you to think nothing is changing. But he is a liar. He is a thief. He is defeated. Repeat 3 words. Heaven has heard you. Heaven has recorded you. Heaven is responding to you. Repeat 3 words. What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no heart has imagined. God is preparing for those who wait on him. Repeat 3 words. You will dance again. You will laugh again. You will testify again. Repeat 3 words. This struggle is not forever. This silence is not the end. This prayer is not in vain. Repeat 3 words. God is good. God is faithful, God is true. Repeat 3 words. You may not understand the why, but one day you'll shout about the how. You may not know the timing, but you'll marvel at the outcome. Repeat 3 words. The blessing will come suddenly. The door will open quickly. The answer will arrive powerfully. Repeat 3 words, and when it comes, fall to your knees, lift up your hands, say aloud to the heavens, "You heard me, God." Repeat 3 words. The struggle is almost over. The night is nearly gone. The dawn is about to break. Repeat 3 words. Don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. Don't stop hoping. Repeat 3 words, because child of God, an answered prayer is coming. Repeat 3 words. It is coming. It is near. It is sure. Repeat 3 words. God's timing is perfect, even when it seems slow. The wait is not a sign of rejection, but a divine setup for a greater answer. That truth is hard to embrace when your heart is weary, your prayers feel unanswered, and your soul is stretched thin with delay. But Scripture reminds us time and time again that God does not operate according to human clocks. He does not rush. He does not panic. He does not make mistakes. God moves with precision, and when he delays, it is never without purpose. Every second of waiting is part of a divine schedule that leads to something greater than we ever anticipated. We live in a world that values instant gratification, fast answers, quick turnarounds, and immediate results. But God is more interested in preparation than speed. He is more committed to building your faith than granting your request in haste. When he delays, it's because something in you or around you needs to align with his perfect will. Sometimes that delay is preparing the right people, the right moment, or the right environment. Other times it's preparing you, strengthening your trust, maturing your character, deepening your dependence on him. Consider Abraham. God promised him a son, yet it took 25 years for Isaac to be born. Was God late? No. He was aligning Abraham's heart with his promise. He was turning a man into a patriarch, a family into a nation. The wait wasn't a punishment. It was part of the plan. Had the answer come sooner, the testimony would not have been as powerful. The miracle would not have been as meaningful. It was the delay that made the promise unforgettable. Waiting doesn't mean God has forgotten you. Waiting doesn't mean you are being punished. Waiting doesn't mean your faith is weak. In fact, waiting may mean your prayer is so significant, so world-changing, that heaven is giving it special attention. The delay is often a divine strategy, positioning you not just for any answer, but for the right answer. And when it comes, you'll see why the wait was necessary. It's in the waiting that worship becomes real. It's in the waiting that trust becomes tested. And it's in the waiting that God reveals himself in deeper ways. So if you are in a season of waiting, hold on, keep praying, keep believing. Don't confuse God's silence with his absence. Don't mistake his delay for denial. The very thing you've been crying out for may already be on its way. It just hasn't arrived on your schedule, but it's right on time for God, because God's timing is perfect even when it feels slow. The wait is never wasted. It's not rejection. It's preparation for a greater answer than you ever imagined. Heaven may seem quiet, but God is always working behind the scenes. Silence is preparation, not abandonment. That sacred silence you're experiencing is not proof that God has walked away. It's proof that God is drawing you in. It's easy to equate silence with absence, especially when you've been praying fervently, crying out sincerely, and yet all you hear is stillness. But the silence of God is not the absence of his hand. It is the presence of his process. Sometimes God speaks through thunder, fire, and wind, but other times he speaks through silence. Think of Elijah on the mountain, expecting God in the wind, the earthquake, and the fire, but God chose to speak in a still, small voice. That whisper required Elijah to lean in, to quiet himself, to listen deeply. In the same way, God often uses silence to slow us down, to remove distractions, and to bring us closer. When heaven is quiet, God is not doing nothing. He is doing something deeper, something invisible. He's working in the hearts of people, aligning situations, preparing doors, and most of all, preparing you. Silence is the workshop of heaven. It's where God builds character, shapes identity, and teaches dependence. It's where pride is stripped, self-sufficiency is broken, and faith is refined. In the silence, God doesn't stop being God. He continues to be sovereign, wise, and faithful. Sometimes you're not ready for the answer you've been asking for. Sometimes the people connected to your breakthrough are not ready. Sometimes the season you're in must shift before the miracle can be released. And rather than explain it all, God simply goes silent, not as punishment, but as preparation. Think of Joseph in prison. No voice from heaven, no angelic visitation, just years of silence. But behind the prison doors, God was arranging a famine, shifting Pharaoh's dreams, and preparing a throne. The silence was not abandonment, it was strategic alignment. Had Joseph given up during the quiet, he would have never seen the palace. The silence was the staging ground for a divine elevation. So if you're in a season where your prayers seem to echo back without reply, don't panic. Don't doubt, don't stop believing. Heaven's silence is not heaven's rejection. It is often heaven's strategy. You may not hear the trumpet, but angels are marching. You may not see the movement, but the hand of God is active. You may not feel the shift, but the earth beneath you is being prepared. Wait in the silence. Trust in the quiet. Lean into the stillness. God is not done with your story. What feels like delay is actually design. What feels like being forgotten is actually being formed. The silence is sacred. The silence is holy. The silence is necessary, because silence is never abandonment. It is heaven's preparation for your answered prayer. The season of struggle is the soil where trust, character, and spiritual maturity are developed. No one welcomes hardship. No one signs up for pain. Yet it is in these difficult, pressure-filled seasons that God does his deepest work. Struggles are not signs of divine disapproval. They are often invitations into deeper intimacy with God. When life gets hard, it doesn't mean God has stepped away. It often means he has stepped in, closer than ever, using the situation to shape who you are becoming. Just as seeds cannot grow without being buried, watered, and broken open beneath the soil, so too our faith cannot grow without struggle. The dark soil of adversity holds the nutrients necessary for growth. It is in struggle that we learn to lean on God, not ourselves. It is in trial that we realize how little control we have and how much we truly need him. It is in the fire that the impurities are burned away, and what remains is faith refined like gold. Character is not formed on the mountaintop, it is carved in the valley. It's when your prayers go unanswered that you learn to persist. It's when people betray you that you learn to forgive. It's when doors close that you discover contentment. God uses these moments not to harm you, but to mold you. Every hardship has hidden lessons. Every pain carries purpose. Every delay is a lesson in trust. Think of David running from Saul. He had already been anointed as king, but the struggle came before the crown. Hiding in caves, betrayed by friends, hunted like a criminal, yet in those lonely places David wrote psalms. He grew in humility. He developed resilience. He learned to cry out to God and trust his timing. The struggle was not a detour. It was the training ground for kingship. Or look at Jesus himself. Before he went to the cross, he went to Gethsemane. He wept, he wrestled, he struggled, and in that agony he surrendered fully to the Father's will. Even the Son of God did not bypass suffering. He was made perfect through what he endured. How much more, then, will God use our struggles to form something eternal within us? You may not like where you are. You may feel tired, confused, and stretched thin, but know this: God is working. He is developing something within you that comfort alone could never produce. Spiritual maturity isn't built in times of ease. It's forged through fire, watered with tears, and harvested in perseverance. So if you're in a season of struggle, don't despair, don't rush through it. Let it do its work, let God do his work, because this soil, though painful, is holy ground. And one day you'll look back and see that the deepest roots of your faith were planted in the hardest seasons.